In this tutorial, I'll show you how to deploy a NuGet package locally. Say you've created a class library that you would like to push to NuGet, but you're not sure if you want to do that yet, so you want to test it locally. In order to do that, you need a few tools. So you need to have .NET CLI, which I will assume you do have. And you need NuGet CLI, which I will assume that you may have. I'll show you how to set this up. So in start search, just type cmd and press enter. And here, just type NuGet. If you see what I see here, so basically available commands means that you have NuGet installed. Otherwise, we'll have to go through the installation process. Similarly with .NET, you see that I have that installed. If you have .NET's SDK, I think CLI comes with it, so I will not go through how to install that. Google is there if you need to do that. So for NuGet, you need to go to nuget.org. Under downloads, you have NuGet executable. That's the recommended latest version at the moment, 5.9.1. So download that, and then if you go to your downloads folder, this will appear here, obviously. Move it to some safe location that you want to store the executable of NuGet CLI. That for me is program files, and then under NuGet, I've just placed that here. You can place it in the same spot as well. Once you got this, copy that path, that's important. And then you can search for env, and then you should see edit the system environment variables. Just press enter on that and click environment variables. Under path, press edit or under user variables path. And then here, make sure you have that path pasted in. If not, press new, paste that in. Obviously, I'm not going to do that twice, and then press OK. And OK again, and OK again. If you have any command line interface open, restart that now. So close it like so. I have actually another open, so I'll close that. And then open it again, cmd. Cool. So once we have this set up, we can start looking at packing your library. I happen to have a client library that I wrote some time ago for email automation called WeMailer. The first way to pack your library that we will look at is through Visual Studio. So go ahead and open your solution with your client, with your class library. And once the solution is open, I right click that and go to properties. This is a class library. So we can now, and it's targeting .NET Standard 2.0, that's just a decision I made at the time. So now there is a package pane in properties, and this tick box here says generate NuGet package on build. That has to be ticked. You have some details here. This is metadata for your package, and it will be sort of transferred to NuGet. So it's important to fill that in, especially the package number and the package ID, which would be the name. As you can see, I left those other fields empty. If you have anything to change here, just press Ctrl S to save it. And then I'll just open the folder to show you with this project. Those folders are normally not here, so let's just delete them. And these are just folders of my project. If I now go ahead and build, you'll see that those folders appear. This is my code, and this is my binaries. The way Visual Studio deals with that when it generates a NuGet package is that you have to navigate to that binaries folder and then the environment I'm building for debug. So it's going to be in debug. And then you can see that the WeMailer NuGet package is here. This is automatically named like this. So this is the way to pack it with Visual Studio. Now I can get rid of those folders again. Those are generated automatically when you build the solution. So now let's just do the following. I can now try to pack it using the NuGet CLI. So again, I'm going to open my command prompt in that folder, and the easiest way to do that is to, when I'm inside the file explorer in that folder that I want to open, just type cmd and enter, and that will open that command prompt in the same folder that you're currently in, as you can see here. Now, to get the NuGet package packed, normally I would have to go and say NuGet pack. As you can see, it's unable to find the DLL of the webmailer. Why? Because we didn't build the solution. As you can see, the binary folder and the object folder are not present. So first thing that we have to do is to go and say .NET build. This will build, and you can see that those two folders appear in the webmailer folder. The build succeeded, and those files are there. And now to pack, again, NuGet pack. This will automatically pack the DLLs. As you can see, that appeared over here. So that's already packed. Alternatively, you could, I think this will now, yeah, so it also generated that here because Visual Studio have it selected. That's in project settings. So I'll delete everything now. Actually, I'm going to go to Visual Studio settings and I'm going to untick that so we are sure what's happening. I'll save it. And then in here, I'll delete those all together. We can also pack it using .NET CLI. So the way to do it is to do .NET build first. That will build the solution. If I go to the binaries folder and debug, you see that the package is not there now. However, I can actually stay in that folder here. However, if I now do .NET pack, this package should appear in that folder, and there it is. So finally, to deploy the package, we need to be in that folder in command prompt, but we need to be here with administrator privileges. So copy that path to that folder, Windows and S, and then CMD, right click and run as administrator, and now CD, paste that path, and we are in there. So in here, we'll need to use a NuGet add with the name of the package, which in my case is this, and use the parameter source, which confusingly is the place that you're going to deploy to. Now, if we want to do that, we can deploy it locally, we can deploy it in that folder, but I want to deploy it in a place where we actually want to store it so Visual Studio can read it as an offline package. And if we go to any Visual Studio solution and right click and manage NuGet packages for a solution, you see that the package source is nuget.org. And if you press on a drop down, there is a Visual Studio offline packages. And that location is specified in the settings here next to it. You see that this is the path. So if we copy that path and navigate to it in File Explorer, there's plenty of packages here. So now we have that, we can specify that as the source. You have to use quotation marks if you want to use that path because it's got spaces in it. Similarly, backslashes need to be escaped, so I'll add that. And just press enter. You can see that it's successfully added the package to that feed. This should be now available in Visual Studio. So I've just created a new console app. This is out of the box, a console application. If I now right click and manage NuGet packages for a solution, the feed is set to Microsoft Visual Studio offline packages, and now I search for weep. You can see that the package is indeed here. So that's it for today. Thanks for listening and see you next time.